Hey everyone, it's Tracy. Today we are doing another versus video of Tokyo Disney merch versus Disney merch in the US. We've talked a little bit about this before, but a ton of new merch has come out at both places, so I think it's time we did an update. We'll go through a couple different categories and discuss and decide which has better merch out of the two. So we'll have a winner for each round and an overall winner at the very end. As always, please feel free to join in and let me know your thoughts. I'm always so excited to hear from you guys. And if you're new here, my name is Tracy, and this is my video diary of life as a fangirl. So let's get into it. The two teams we have are Japan Disney and US Disney. I think I need to do a little disclaimer because Disney Japan is a little bit complicated. So there's the Tokyo Disney Parks and then Disney Store Japan, which is a nationwide store chain. They're two different entities and they have completely different merch, but we're going to group them together as Team Japan today. For US Disney, the parks merch and the Disney Store merch is kind of all one entity. That's like the simplest way I can think to explain it. So our first category is bag charms, which I am very excited about, but my personal collection is mostly from Japan, so that's kind of where I want to start. As you might know, I'm a connoisseur of bag charms, especially plushy bag charms. Plush keychains have kind of always been a thing in Japan, and I'm like so excited that they're starting to get popular here too. So I'll just show you the first example I have, which are Mickey and Minnie in their 40th anniversary Tokyo Disney outfits. The attention to detail on the outfits is crazy. So currently in the US, it is Disneyland's 70th anniversary, but like, can you imagine if we had these in the Disneyland 70th anniversary outfits? If anyone at Disney's watching, give me a call. That's just where my brain goes when I'm thinking of this. But Tokyo Disney comes out with a lot of merch like this, of Mickey and Friends bag charms in different special outfits. These ones you won't find at the Disney store. Since Japan is a little complicated, I try to make that clear. So I'll do my best to disclose like where things are from. Here's a couple more examples of the Tokyo Disney Park keychains. They have so many cute niche things. There's keychains of food things in the park. The thought and the detail put into these is just one of my favorite things ever. One of my personal favorites is this little Mickey waffle keychain. It even comes with like the plate that they serve it on at the parks there. It is just so cute. For Disney Store Japan, I've got a couple examples to share as well. Starting with this Jack Skellington one, which is in his pajamas. It is very niche and kind of funny, but I just thought he is so cute. Like, Japan in general comes out with a lot of niche merch. One that I like kind of can't believe exists is this little teddy bear, which is Max's teddy bear, like Goofy's son Max, and he's even got a little ribbon that says Maximilian. My friend gave this to me as a gift and I cried because it was just so cute and so thoughtful. This is a very precious bag charm, but there's also less niche bag charms there too. Like, there's a bunch of regular Disney characters, like this little piglet, which was from one of the spring collections a while back, and this Goofy one who is supposed to be taking a nap. He kind of has a funny expression on his face. One of my personal favorite non-plush bag charms is this little Max one. Is Max considered niche? I don't know, but I love a Goofy movie and I love Max, so I was very excited to find this there. And as you can probably tell, I went like a little crazy with bag charm shopping when I went to Japan last time. As for the US, I feel like the majority of keychains here are like metal or plastic or like a hard material. All kinds of little charms and beaded ones. Plush bag charms have started to trickle in here too, which is very exciting. There's been like Disney Channel designs that have come out here too recently, which is also kind of exciting, but there is definitely less variety. I think I might only have one example to share from the US parks, but it is this K2SO one from Galaxy's Edge. He's a little bit heavy, but he is very cute and very solid. I don't find myself reaching for this as much because it is metal. I'm like scared I'm gonna swing my bag the wrong way and like hit something, but I am a very big fan of Star Wars merch, which is one thing that Japan is very lacking on, I will say. Outside of special events, it's kind of hard to find Star Wars merch at the Disney stores in Japan. One thing that I'm like hoping and praying that somebody brings back, whether in the US or Japan, is Disney characters in Star Wars outfits, which is the other example I have to share. These were plushies that I actually found on eBay, I think from Star Wars weekends at Walt Disney World. I just kind of DIY'd this into a bag charm. I mean, he's like a little big to be a bag charm, but the fact that it's a Darth Vader Goofy, I could not do this. Similar situation, I just DIY'd him into a little bag charm. This one actually says Star Wars weekends and the year on his foot. I wish so much that they bring back merch like this. Tokyo Disney Parks came out with something similar of Mickey and friends in different Star Wars outfits, but again, it was like a special event thing, so it's not like it's like a permanent item. Some Tokyo Disney, US Disney, somebody please bring stuff like that back. So that is our discussion on bag charms. And as far as the winner for this category, I think Japan is the clear winner here. They just have so much variety. The quality is amazing. There's bag charms for fashion, there's functional bag charms, there's something for everybody. Next, we're going to talk about ears, which is a big one. Real quick, I do want to mention that for Japan, the ears are only going to be from Tokyo Disney. It's like a very park-specific item. Ears, there's definitely a big difference. So we'll start out with Tokyo Disney. We've got some little glove ears, which are super cute. A little Baymax headband. Technically not ears, but still in like the headwear category. They have a bunch of different characters like this, where it's like a little plush that's hanging onto the headband. Sequin mini ears are huge at the Tokyo Disney parks, especially like monochromatic ones like this. Same color on the ears and the bow. These are just solid black ones. They have like every different color of the rainbow of these. If we were to just talk about hats, I would say Tokyo Disney is the winner because they have like all kinds of fun little character hats like this. There's fuzzy bucket hats, baseball hats with ears, all kinds of fun stuff. But I don't know, I'm kind of lumping that together with the ears for this category. A couple pros and cons about the Tokyo Disney ears. One major pro is the pricing. They're like literally almost half the price of what they are here, but kind of on the downside, the standard ears they have at the parks there have been pretty much the same for a while. It feels like the variety doesn't change out that much. For special events and holidays and stuff, they do put out some new ears sometimes. One example is the Vanellope ears, which are these ones that came out last year, but the special event ones are so limited. They're only around for a short time, and a lot of the times they sell out really quickly. So that is the argument for Tokyo Disney ears here. This is one category I feel like the US has a lot more variety on. We've got the classic mini ears here. We've got some sequin ones, bunch of character specific ones, movie specific ones, all kinds of different stuff. Generally speaking, I do think the US ears are more sturdy. There's definitely some exceptions, but like the faux leather ones are super sturdy. So the first example I have are the plain black Mickey ears. The little ribbons here I just tied on because I like to customize them that way. In the US, I feel like the designs come and go so much quicker, which could be a good thing or a bad thing depending on how you look at it. One thing that you'll almost never find in Japan is Marvel and Star Wars ears. As a major Star Wars girly, this is like a huge pro for me. These lightsaber ones, character specific ones like I mentioned. These are Spider-Man ones, one of my all-time favorite Marvel designs. Seasonal and holiday ears, I also feel like we get a lot more variety here in the US. One example I have to share is these little Mickey snowmen. They are so cute. I love how they're like nice and fuzzy. Japan definitely has seasonal and holiday stuff too, but I feel like it's much more limited there than it is here. The US, I also feel like has upped the hat game recently. They came out with an almost identical Mickey Sherpa beanie, which I still kind of have mixed feelings about. And like the reason why this is so fascinating to me, Disney Store Japan is technically owned by Disney, the whole Disney, whereas the Tokyo Disney Resorts operated independently. So if US Disney wanted to do a limited release of Japan merch, it would only be from Disney Store Japan and not the Tokyo Disney parks, if that makes sense. I don't know, like it's complicated. Anyways, I think our winner for this category, I'd actually say the US. So the next category is bags. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but I feel like bags they sell in the parks are a lot more focused on functionality, I feel like. Backpacks and tote bags, things that are very practical for a park day, if that makes sense. There's some exceptions, but one thing that's become quite popular in the past like year and a half or so is the big face character tote bags. It's a little bit more fashion focused than like the more practical bags they sell, but still, I personally wouldn't reach for this outside of going to Disney, because it is very Disney. The other one I have is Jack Skellington, which is absolutely ginormous. I think I've shown this a couple times here, but I just love it so much. Personally, I wouldn't reach for these on like a normal day where I wasn't going to the parks, but they are very fun bags to take to the parks. So Japan, on the other hand, this is an area they have a lot more variety in as well, both at the Tokyo Disney parks and at the Disney Store Japan. Disney Store Japan especially, I feel like is much more fashion focused in like an everyday sense. The Disney Store there is like a nationwide chain. So there's a lot more people that shop there that aren't necessarily going to the parks. One of my all-time favorite bags that I reach for constantly is this Star Wars tote bag from the very limited Star Wars section they had at the flagship store in Tokyo, the flagship Disney store in Tokyo, and it has like the most amazing print ever. It is just gorgeous and I love it so much. For some examples from the Tokyo Disney parks, I have this Peter Pan tote bag. It's actually themed to the Peter Pan attraction in Fantasy Springs. The artwork on it is so cute. I like how the colors are a little bit softer. Tokyo Disney Parks also has like less functional but cute park accessory bags, like this little glove bag. Technically it does have a little compartment, but it's not super functional. Maybe a couple lip glosses or something could fit in there, but not much else. Similar to that one is this little Baymax. He's also a crossbody, but just kind of looks like a plushie. Also not the most practical, but still very cute. These two also I feel are very park fashion focused. I don't think I would wear these outside of going to the parks, but I'm just a crazy Disney parks person that I like to collect things like that. For the winner of this category, I would say once again, Japan. All right, next up we have clothing, another category I'm very excited about. The main two differences I can think of for this category: Japan, the color palettes tend to be a lot softer. Pastel colors, neutral colors, just less saturated colors in general. Japan, I feel, also has more subtle merch. It's not like super in your face Disney. The US tends to have more bright colors, very saturated colors, even in some cases like primary colors. Tokyo Disney Park clothing is mostly graphic tees, hoodies, pullovers, sweatshirts, and stuff like that, kind of like how it is here. Disney Store Japan has a little bit more variety with skirts and dresses, more different accessories and stuff like that. This is like also another category where almost all the examples I have are from Japan. Like I said, we went crazy when we went there. So the first Tokyo Disney example I have is this pullover. Definitely more muted colors here. And then the back has "Let's go to Tokyo Disney Resort." Personally, I would wear this outside of the parks. Like I feel like with the softer colors, it's almost like something like a Disney piece from like Gap or something like that. I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's how I can think to describe it. Then we've got this Tokyo Disney Sea t-shirt, which is actually Ji-chan's, but I stole it out of his closet to show you guys. Super subtle. It's monochromatic and the park logo is like embossed or textured on there. I don't know the proper terms for what this is. Tokyo definitely has more bold designs than this. This one is just like an extra subtle one, but I wanted to share this because like in comparison, the Disneyland and Disney World ones, I guess, are super in your face, like Disneyland, Disney World, and like high contrast colors. For the most part, there's definitely some exceptions. The last one I have is a Tokyo Disney hoodie. It actually doesn't say Tokyo Disney on it. It just says Disney Friends. Even this one, the colors are a little bit softer. The lettering and outline are a dark brown, not like a true black. Definitely softens the overall look of this one. Okay, so let's talk about the US for a little bit. Like the true park merch that says Disneyland on it and has like characters on it, like I said a million times, is quite bold in comparison. But over the past year or two, I feel like Disney US has become a little bit more fashion focused with the Her Universe collections. I also feel Disney is paying more attention to different fashion trends. The 90s Y2K resurgence, especially the Winnie the Pooh overalls that came out recently. I'm honestly kind of tempted to get those. Pooh Bear had such an era in the 90s here. US Disney, I feel, is slowly breaking out of the mold of their traditional theme park merch, which I think is exciting because dressing up for the parks is one of my all-time favorite hobbies. So a lot to think about for this category. I feel like there's a strong case for both sides on this one. Personally, I feel like Japan merch is more wearable and everyday basis, so I think I'm gonna give this one to Japan. Next, we have pins. The pin culture is so different between the US and Japan. There's no pin trading at the Tokyo Disney parks. The pin selection at Tokyo Disney is pretty limited. They do have some mystery packs and like open edition ones, whereas like here, pin trading is huge. The mystery boxes are huge, so much so that there's dedicated pin stores in the parks here, and like even pin trading events and pin trading corners and stuff. So I do have some examples to share from both. The Tokyo Disney ones I want to share are actually from a mystery pack. All the designs are of attractions at the parks. This one is Baymax, one of my all-time favorite rides at the parks there, and there is what the back looks like. Then there's Daisy on the flying carpets at Tokyo Disney Sea, the Mad Tea Party Mouse in one of the teapots, and one of the country bears with a little raccoon on his head. On the other hand, here in the US at Disneyland and Disney World, there is an insane variety of pins that cover so many different categories, like characters and movies, park-specific ones, attraction-specific ones. pretty much like there's pretty much something for everybody. It is very interesting how the pin culture is so different between the US and Japan, because Japan definitely has a collecting culture. Pins haven't really become a collecting item there for whatever reason, at least from my personal experience, but who knows? Maybe someday they'll take off there. For now, I think the winner for this category is the US. And with that, that's all the categories I have to discuss today. Japan has 3 points and US has 2 points. So our winner this time is Japan. I might slightly be biased for. There's definitely pros and cons on either side, but I think our overall winner is definitely Japan. Let me know your thoughts if you agree, if you disagree, or if you have favorite merch items from either of the places. Like I said, I'm always so excited to hear from you guys. I'm so grateful to have this space because I love talking about Disney merch and stuff like this. Thank you so much for being here and for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.